Hello, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today again. Um, Today, I would like to talk about functionality of IM in 3D. Functionality of consciousness uh, in regards to gender. Alright. Now, the two functionalities of gender, or the two known genders, are male and female. Alright. But when consciousness is not understood in in its highest form, or in its functionality, or better still, its individuality. Now that's in regards to a person's viewpoint, or should I say a person's how we see a person's here in how we see a person rather here in 3D. All right, how you see me in 3D. All right, now when you look at me, I'm a male, right? That's how you see me. But when consciousness is not understood, or is not respected. I think respected is a better word. Is respected for what it is at that particular time in 3D. We disrupt its functionality. Right? Now, gender studies, okay? Gender studies, as in regards to functionality of consciousness, simply refers to a person's awareness, a person's consciousness, as in regards to their relationship with the environment, and how it shapes their relationships, how it shapes their political structures and personal identity. Right? So just okay. Now it is important to really put it out there that consciousness itself has no gender. Awareness itself has no gender. Every sex, you know, is aware. Every sex experiences life, experiences its environment pretty much in the same way. Now let's forget perception for now, but pretty much experiences the environment the same way, right? For example, I personally experience my environment right now. It's cloudy. It's a little bit chilly, and I'm in a coffee shop, and any other gender comes in here. Let's say a woman comes in here, they'll pretty much experience the environment generally the same way, right? But perceptions are the ones that make us respond to life differently. All right, but experiences can be the same way. All right, objective experiences. Now our subjective experiences, our subjective interpretations of life or of our environment are the ones that make us respond to life a certain way. All right. Now when you understand that consciousness, yes, has no gender, but your perception of consciousness, your perception of what you are, is what will make you respond to life a certain way, or your understanding of you, who you are, is what will make you react to life a certain way. Now that will have repercussions in regards to what you're experiencing, of course. Now I really want to talk about this you know male, this false identity that has been trending, really, where a man considers themselves as a woman, or vice versa. Really, these ideas that, for example, someone may say, well, I'm non-binary. All right, meaning they just So meaning they do not really consider themselves as male or female, right? Now that becomes a problem, especially when you have a definite objective reality, a definite objective fact pointing at you, all right? Because what you're doing there is taking the 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 substance of consciousness, which is genderless, which is sexless. You're taking that part of yourself and bringing it forth into this world as your reality. Now that will become a problem because your surrounding will treat you only how they see you, right? Your surrounding treats you in accordance to how you look or what you look or how they perceive you in this very moment objectively. So for me, Joshua, to come and say, well, I am not male, I am female, that distorts the natural order or the natural flow of things in reality objectively. All right, now I know we consider reality really to be consciousness itself, right? That's the real. But we have to always, when it comes to the fundamentals of life, when it comes to nature really, we have to respect, because when we do not respect that, we begin to annihilate the natural order of things in 3D, and that is not what we're here for. We're here to shape 3D. We're here to of course to be creative. We're here to be our best selves, but we must do that in accordance to what God has really given us. Right. Now the reason this is so is because once consciousness has manifested itself in reality, once consciousness has manifested itself in what we call reality, of course, this 3D, it is imperative that we understand that that is the manifestation of the I am. That is the manifestation of God. That is the rule God has followed to that is the way God has followed to convey himself in this reality, and we have to respect that. And when we do not respect that, we are literally actually insulting creator. We're insulting the creator. If this mouse comes, if let's say if it did speak, if it comes and says, no, I am not a mouse, I am something else, I am a cup, or I am think of whatever you want to think of, or I am water, this mouse is directly disrespecting its inventor. Of course, it is directly disrespecting its creator, because it does not consider the repercussions of what it is, right, what it is saying, right? It does not consider the repercussions of what it is saying, and I'll get to that in a bit. So that is what I'm trying to point to. Your gender announces your functionality as the I am in this reality. I repeat that. Your gender announces or speaks of your functionality as the I am in this reality. So when you as a male consider yourself as a female, you're literally running away from your purpose, your functionality in this reality, in this phase of reality, or in this realm of reality, right? Because once we are created with functionality, we are created with purpose, we are created with law, we are created to feel, and we are created to feel and to carry out those functions, right? But when we do not do that, we're going the opposite way of what we're supposed to do, and that really is an insult to Creator. More so, it is an insult to the I am. Right? It is an insult to the I am, and that is why this idea of identifying yourself other than what you are objectively is facing so much resistance. That's why it will face so much resistance, and it will continue facing resistance, because it is false. It is going against nature. It is going against the natural law of things, and it cannot continue. You see, it cannot continue. Just a moment. It cannot continue. All right. So consciousness manifests itself in numerous forms individually. The I am manifests itself or himself in numerous forms. All right, and in that form, it is talking about functionality. It is declaring its functionality in this 3D, and once something does not carry out that functionality, it goes against its natural order, or its flow. All right, I'll give an example. To the degree that nature does not follow the natural roadmap set for it, nature destroys itself, right? Because it is going against the current. Yeah. Now, right now, it might not seem like it's problematic, but we're seeing we're seeing the issues this is coming up. It's affecting everything. It's affecting politics. It's affecting entertainment. It's affecting just general households. You see, it's affecting everything. This distortion in the real. All right. Now, once it increases, and it probably will, society itself will be really warped, and this warping will cause really a kind of dystopia, because natural flow is not followed. And this dystopia really is two forces coming together, right? Negative and positive, two forces coming together, and they cannot be, right? They cannot be, and because they cannot be, all you have is collision, right? And that collision will affect each and everything in the vicinity, or each and everything in near that collision, right? So this is it. You see, without going back to this natural flow, these forces will come together, and there will be a major collision. Now, that collision will affect everything. It will affect those that are claiming, this false identity. It will affect them. It will affect those that are still in the natural flow of order, right? In the natural, but it will affect each and everyone. And in the end, it is we humans who will face the repercussions of this confusion. I'll give an example. There are those that want peace, and there are those that want war, right? Now, whether they want it or not, the two will clash to some point, at some point. But the ramifications of that will affect everyone, whether you want peace or not, right? They will affect everyone. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. The natural flow of humans. Humans are born to love. Humans are born to be at peace. That is the natural flow. But it is when these desires, these false desires, these false ideas and these imaginations that are allowed to run haywire, these imaginations that are rampant, that these evils that are allowed to just be, when they come into the picture, that is when we become we move away from natural flow, all right, from the natural flow of things. So we must realize that this gender thing is really a parasite. It will feed off these energies of hate, these energies of loathing each other. It will feed off that, and it will leave us with nothing except a dystopia, right? And we do not want that. We want peace. We want we want things to flow as they should flow. Now, how can you help someone who is going through this? How can you really help an individual, male or female, going through this identity crisis when it comes to gender? Really, it is what they are exposed to. Remember, consciousness is shaped, right? Good, with the good or the bad. Consciousness is shaped, right? And once it is shaped, it begins to live out what it is shaped as, all right? Even though the shaping itself is detrimental to it, right? So it is really what people are exposed to, right? Because there is no way anyone can really deny what they are, right? Here they might think, oh well, I am this, I am a female, right? Here they might really convince themselves, because that's possible. They might really convince themselves, but deep down they cannot really escape who they are, because they are made to be that. The biology of who they are cannot be escaped, because consciousness has already aligned itself to fit that which they are. All right, now superficially, yes, they will think, they will imagine themselves to be anything else, but on a quintessential realm or level, they are really what they are destined to be, and that is to be either male or female. The only way you can help such a one is really help them see that their exposure to falsehood is what's really killing them. But that will be really, really hard, because once someone convinces themselves, I believe change is one of the hardest things to ever do, or to ever come across, because people cannot change unless they realize that they're going the wrong way, right? But people are really self-centered, and to admit that we are wrong is one of the hardest things to do, right? But the best way to help such a one is really allow them to see that the falsehoods that they've exposed themselves to are what's causing this distortion in who they are. And one other important thing is to make sure we do not allow the young ones to be affected by these things as much as possible, because that exposure is shaping them for worse, right? That exposure is shaping them slowly but sure. It's shaping them to entertain these ideas, these philosophies that really are against the natural flow of things. And remember what I said, when we go against nature, we will lose, because nature is really that. Nature, it will follow the natural flow of things, all right? So that is what I wanted to point out today, because I think people are taking advantage of the fact of what consciousness can do for us in this realm, and distorting it, and 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 um, and they're using it for bad, really, right? The I am can really avail us to so many realms, to the highest realms possible, right? But we must always go with the natural flow of things, because that is what God intends. That is what I am intends, for us to use the I am for good and not for evil. Remember in Genesis, when they used the I am for evil, and it says in Genesis that, and the world was full of evil, right? Before the flood, it says the world was full of evil, and the heart of man was, his imaginations was nothing but evil. And God, that's why God had wiped out, you know, mankind, and just left really Noah and with his family, because people were using their I am, people were using their capabilities or using their will for nothing but evil and not good. So it is really important to realize this. I think I'll be putting out more videos concerning the I am and how we can shape it in accordance to what is right, to what we are supposed to be doing as children of God. I thank you. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, and put in the comments what you think I should cover next. And thank you.